here we go. We will begin taking the first steps of our project. Let me first of all show you the final render we will be going after. Here it is. In fact, it's a scaled version of it, because our final render will be 1280 by 720. So this is what we will be constructing throughout the tutorial. But keep in mind, I'm not just going to show you how to build this image. In fact, I will be explaining many tools, techniques, and what's happening under the hood. Then, as we go along, we will use some of what we learn to build this image. You can already see in it some cool features like the translucency for those lights, like the global illumination which is lighting my scene, like the displacements on this teapot handle, for example, like the sharp reflections on this teapot, like the blurred reflections on this tray and on the table, like the textures, etc. And since this is not a modeling and UVing tutorial, I won't go into that. So I built everything beforehand. Let me show you. I will just open up my scene, which you can find in the project folder under the name scene. I'll just hit accept, and here you can see my scene, which consists of a table, a tray with some cups on it, this vase thing with sticks sticking out of it, this first light, the second light, the teapot, and 2 chairs. All the modeling was done in Houdini. In fact, there is nothing fancy about it. You can follow the history of how I modeled it if you need to, which is one of the powerful aspects of Houdini's node-based system. Maybe I should just show you how I did the sticks and the table bars. Let me just go inside my pot, and here I'll go inside my sticks. In fact, I began with this tube here. Let me hide everything. I began with this tube here. Then I created a grid on which I did some editing just to change its form a little bit. And then I added a point node in which I added normals just to give normals to the points on my model. And I scattered points on it. Let me show points. And here you can see points scattered on my grid model. Then I copied the cylinders onto those points. I did that 2 times. In fact, here's one line, and here's another line similar to the first one. Then I used an X form just to position the sticks how I need to. And I did the same on the other side. And when we merge them, you have those bunch of sticks. I'll go back up. And let me show you how I did those bars on the table. Let me go inside my table. And inside here, you can see that I began with a box. In fact, it's the other one. Let me take this one. Then I did a bevel on it. I twisted it a little. And if you look at the strength of the twist, you can see a stamp function which is taking its values from this copy node. And I did a bend on them also. And after the copy, you'll see the result of the bend and twist on all my bars. And in the bend function, I used also a stamp function that takes its values from the copy node. And here under my stamp, you can see I used a strip length, a strip twist, a strip bend, a strip width. And here in my box, I used, you cannot see it here, I used a stamp to define the length and the width of my bar. And in here, I used the stamp function also in the twist and in the bend to define the amount of twist and the amount of bend for each one of my copies. Then I edited my model a little, just so it fits exactly what I needed. And then I did the UV projections, etc. And after the merge, you can see the model of my table. And everything else was very straightforward, so you can just look at the history of the modeling and you can follow it easily. For the UVs, I only built UVs for the parts we will be needing. So all the parts that are hidden for my camera, and since for here I'm just going after a still image, I didn't bother building all the UVs for the faces I won't be seeing. So I built only the UVs for the faces we will be seeing in our still image. And later on, when we will be talking about the materials of each object, I will talk a little bit about its UVs. Now that we introduced the scene and the results we will be achieving, let us continue with our project. I will be talking about a lot of new things, and along the way we will be building up our final image by using what we've learned so far and what we will be learning. So let us hit the road.